And welcome back to Taylor's Detroit Sports Show. This is the Pistons edition. Just saw a developing story elsewhere in college basketball about Oklahoma State guard Marcus Smart pushing a Texas Tech fan off and getting a technical in the dying seconds of the Oklahoma State-Texas Tech game, which Texas Tech won. But I'll get to that at the end of the show. I want to get to the Pistons here. Starting with the weekend review. Pistons and Heat, Monday night. It was a close one all along. The Heat kind of pulled away in the fourth quarter a little bit, but Pistons kept it as close as 6 points, I guess. That's how it ended up. Heat ended up winning that one 102-96. That was because Dwayne Wade played. The other time those two met in that building, the American Airlines Arena, the AAA for short, Pistons won without Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade's a great player. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. 21 turnovers for the Pistons, which cost them. That game compared to the Heat's 20 turnovers. At least most of them were forced by the Pistons. Pistons only led by as many as one. Heat outscored the Pistons in the paint 52-50, and on the fast break as well, 22-18. Pistons out-rebounded Miami 51-44 and offensively 19-13. The Heat led by as many as 15. That was at one point in the fourth quarter. Ray Allen hit a three-point shot at the buzzer to end the third quarter, giving his Heat the momentum in that one for the rest of the game. Dwayne Wade led the Heat with 30 points and 10 rebounds, while Brandon Jennings led Detroit with 26 points. Andre Drummond with 12 rebounds. Where is it? Drummond even blocked a dunk attempt by Greg Oden. Drummond finished with 12 points and 12 rebounds, another double-double for him. Just countless double-doubles for Andre Drummond. Pistons might need to keep him. It was all even in all categories. All very tight, if not exactly even. Pistons went to Orlando next, two nights later, and they got blown out by the Magic again, 112-98. The Magic led by as many as 20 points. The Magic are one of the lowliest teams, one of the lowliest teams the lowly list, the lowliest teams, of the season, of the 13-14 season, the 2013-14 season, and the Pistons let the Magic blow right by him. Magic outscored Detroit 58-52, and out-rebounded them offensively 12-11, and totally 44-36. 15 turnovers by the Pistons committed. Magic outscored the Pistons 15-6 in the fast break. Victor Oladipo scored a team-high 20 points. Josh Smith ended up with 25. Oladipo for the Magic, Smith for the Pistons. There was a verbal argument between Will Bynum and head coach Maurice Cheeks during the second quarter, during a timeout, and Maurice Cheeks set Will Bynum out for the rest of the game. So my question would be from there, what do you think happened between Will Bynum and Maurice Cheeks Wednesday in Orlando? Give me a call at 646-478-4837 or comment on my chat window here on blogtalkradio.com on my show. Moving on to last night at the Palace, which is Friday. The Pistons broke out offensively through the first three quarters, scoring 96 points total before collapsing offensively with just 15 in the fourth. Still held on to beat the Brooklyn Nets 111-95. The Brooklyn Nets cut that lead. Well, let me explain this in full detail. The Pistons led by as many as 29. Then the Nets cut it back down to just single digits. Trying to figured out how many points the Nets came close to within in the fourth quarter. But anyway, I'm gonna guess it's about 8 or 6. But some statistics: Brandon Jennings came close to a triple-double. He ended up with a double-double, 26 points and 10 rebounds, 9 assists. Just 1 assist away from that triple-double. From what could have been a triple-double. Andre Drummond recorded his 37th, his Eastern Conference leading 37th double-double with 16 points and 22 rebounds. Whew. Drummond's a machine. The turnover department is still up. 22 turnovers committed by the Pistons, who just can't hold on to the ball. Most of those, I'll bet, came in the fourth quarter. Probably almost 10 of them or so. Yikes. Nets committed only 12 turnovers, which is pretty good for them. Pistons outscored the Nets 52-38. Also outscored Brooklyn 28-16 on the fast break. They out-rebounded Brooklyn 57-40, but the Brooklyn Nets out-rebounded the Pistons offensively 16-15. There's another hole right there. Pistons shot 51.2% from the field, 52.9% from three-point range. Those are both pretty good. 66.7% from the free throw line, kind of at a little below average, like a D, like close to a D plus, kind of like a high mid-range D. Moving on to earlier tonight, it was a slugfest between the Pistons and the Denver Nuggets. Second straight home game. Second of 4 games before the All-Star break. Pistons ended up winning that one 126-109. A stronger fourth quarter tonight than they had last night, scoring 29 points compared to the Nuggets' 23. Pistons outscored the Nuggets in every quarter. 30-29 after one, then 35-32 in the second, leading the Nets 65-61. I thought it was 63-61, but I saw when the third quarter started it was 65-61. So I made the correction on my Detroit sports page, Taylor Phillips's Detroit sports page. Like the page and become a fan today, please. I am Taylor Phillips. Find me on Facebook, YouTube, Google, Pinterest, StumbleUpon, all those social networks on that page. Brandon Jennings had a season high 35 points to go with 12 assists. By the way, you can also follow me on Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram at DT2Phillips. Phillips has 2 L's in it, in case you don't know. Josh Smith also had 30 points. The Nuggets out-rebounded the Pistons 47-40 and 15-13 offensively. Turnovers, Pistons committed only 10. That's a lot better. Nuggets committed 20 turnovers. Most of them were forced in the entire second half. Pistons crumbled the Nets 28-6 on the fast break, and in the paint as well, 66-32. Great game. Just scoring 126 points. I was mentioning constantly on Facebook that 126 points is now a new team high for the season for the Pistons, who led by as many as 17, while the Nuggets led by as many as 10 earlier. Brandon Jennings finished his night hitting some great threes. Hitting some late threes in the fourth. Will Bynum was sat down for the second straight game since his argument with Maurice Cheeks in Orlando. The Pistons have won both games, both their last two games, both without Will Bynum. So I'm going to type a question here. The Pistons have won their last two games both without Will Bynum, since his argument with Maurice Cheeks. Are they better off without Bynum? So the Pistons have won their last two games both without Will Bynum since his argument with Maurice Cheeks. Are they better off without Bynum? Call it 646-478-4837 or comment on the chat or comment later on my Facebook posts. Andre Drummond added 15 rebounds. And along with 18 points, that's another double-double for Drummond. That's now 38 double-doubles this season for Drummond, number 0. Still leads the Eastern Conference in double-doubles. Rodney Stuckey added 19 of his own. The last time the Pistons scored a team high up for the season was against Denver 30 years ago, and the Pistons won in triple overtime over Denver, 186-184. Somebody kind of mentioned that to me on Facebook. They caught some guy named Arthur something. No, his name is Warren Hartman. He was telling me over 30 years ago, but it was 30 years ago. They 11 that game 30 back then. 11 players have scored in double figures. I think 11 players for both teams totally, both teams combined. That is a season high. And that takes us to the standings. The Pistons now stand at 21 and 29 after their last two games, just a half game back of the 8th place Charlotte Bobcats in the East at 22 and 29. Pistons stand in 3rd place in the Central Division. Bobcats 4th place in the Southeast Division. Coming up for the Pistons, they host San Antonio on Monday and Cleveland on Wednesday. Both games will start at 7:30 and will be televised on Fox Sports Detroit and on the radio on 97.1 The Ticket in Detroit. The Spurs lead the Southwest Division, 37-14. Second place in the West, the Western Conference. About 2.5 games back of the Oklahoma City Thunder, who are at 40 and 12. The Cavaliers, 4 games back of the Pistons. Cavaliers are another struggling team. Pistons should handle them. But the Spurs game, it's going to be an interesting battle. Pistons are going to have to slug it out before they take a day out, before they take a day of rest. And that'll do it. Just those 2 games, because after them comes the All-Star break. The All-Star game will be in New Orleans, home of the Pelicans. It'll be a week from tomorrow, February 16th. Of course, that'll be on TNT. Tip-off time would be sometime after 8 o'clock. After 8 o'clock. LeBron James, Kevin Durant are going to be there. Andre Drummond will be there, of course. Saturday night, All-Star Saturday night. Before that, the night before that, the skills competition and the slam dunk contest, all that jazz. It's gonna be lots of fun. Other scores in basketball, they're all college. Michigan gets pounded by Iowa on the road, 85-67. Central Michigan suffers yet another loss to Buffalo, 79-70. Eastern Michigan beats Kent State 70-53. Tomorrow, Michigan State visits Wisconsin at 1, and then Western Michigan visits NIU, Northern Illinois, at 4:30. So that's going to wrap it up for the Pistons edition of Taylor's Detroit Sports Show. I will be back here at midnight for another Pistons edition of Taylor's Detroit Sports Show. There will be no Red Wings edition until March 1st at 11. Until next week at midnight, this is Taylor Phillips saying TTFN, ta-ta for now.